Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Piyush and this is video number 21 in the series 28 days of easy Terraform. In this video, we'll be doing another amazing mini project about Azure policies in Terraform. So we'll be creating multiple policies, policy assignment, and the comments and like target of this video is gonna be 100 likes and 100 comments, and I'm sure you can do that. So without wasting any time, let's get into the video. Okay, so let's see like what we are going to do. Let's see the use case about it. So we have a subscription, let's call it subscription A or whatever the default subscription that you have, and we'll be creating these three policies. Okay, so first is a location policy. That means only these are the allowed locations. So if a user tried to create any other resource other than these locations, then it won't be permitted. Then there is a mandatory tag policy. That means every resource that is being created using Terraform should have, or like not just Terraform, because once the policy is applied, it is applicable to all the resources within that subscription. So mandatory tag policy suggests that every resource should have at least these two tags, otherwise they won't be permitted to be provisioned. And the third one is allowed VM sizes to save some cost and to for the compliance and audit purpose, only these two VM sizes are allowed to be provisioned. If a user is using any other VM size other than these, so it won't be permitted. Now this is similar to what we did when we were doing error validation. Like we have seen different validation techniques using locals, and then we did the error validation in variables as well. But this is more restricted way of enforcing something on Azure, right? Azure policy is not something that you are recommending the user to do. It's not, it's not a suggestion for someone. It's something that we are enforcing on our subscription. We are saying like this is the right way to do and it has to be done this way only. Okay, so that's why Azure policy is really important, and like we are doing policy as a code, which is what most of the organization prefers to do. Okay, so this is what we'll be doing. So let's get into our VS code. Okay, so I'm in day 21 folder. I have my backend provider, and this is the blank main.tf file. Okay, so first thing we need is our subscription to which the policy to be attached to, right? So for that we'll create a data source. Okay, so data Azure RM subscription. If you are not sure about the resource name, like I just don't remember, so you can just verify from the documentation. Let's see, subscription data source Azure RM subscription, like why it was not showing then. Okay, subscription. Oh, because I was not using double quotes, maybe that's why. Could be. Okay, and just give it a name. Let's call it current and keep it blank, because we'll be taking values from it later on when we'll be doing the assignment. Okay, current subscription we can get it from this. Now we need to create the policy, like the Azure policies. For that, let's over here, let's search policy. It has to be a resource. So Azure RM policy, something like that. Okay, Azure RM policy definition. So let's copy it and we're gonna make the changes in that. Okay. Okay, so let's see what it is. First is location policy. So I'm gonna create some variables as well. So let's create a new file, variables.tf. Okay, we have three variables. So variable first is location, and the variable type is, let's use a list of string. Okay, and okay, I mean rest all are optional fields, but even type is an optional field. Let's just add the description, or instead of using tfr, let's just use the default value over here. Okay, we have done this hundreds of times, so I'm sure you are aware of what we are doing. So the allowed locations are east us and west us. Okay, that's one variable. Another variable should be your VM sizes. Okay, the allowed VM sizes. Again, this has to be a list of string. Let's give the default value as well. Default value is standard underscore b2s and standard underscore b2ms. Okay, the third is variable. The third one is allowed tags. Now let's use the type as list of string. Okay, default values are okay. So if we remember correctly, we saw a difference between list and set. So over here we can use set because we can then use index value as well while referring it. Okay, so let's use set and department and then project. Okay, so these are the variables. That's good. Now let's go back to our main.tf. Okay, now this is the first policy definition, and let's call it uh, tag. Okay, let's give it a name, allowed tag policy, and policy type could be either custom or built-in, and there are few other values. So let's use custom. Mode is, it could be index or all, or we can provide a particular name, right? So let's keep it all. Okay, index is like refers to all the resources that supports tag and location. Okay, allocation, tags and location. And let's give this a display name as well, allowed tags policy. Okay, now here is the fun part. Okay, we don't need metadata. Okay, now the policy rule. The policy rule is a a JSON sort of syntax over here. So for that, is it mandatory? Maybe. Okay, it says it starts from here, like we use end of file in Unix. Okay, so it's similar to that. So it says if not field location in parameters allowed location, then effect is audit. So we want to be denied. Okay, and we want if not field tags. So now we want only tags should be. So if not, instead of not, we can use any of. That means either of the condition is true, and field should be tags and which tag var dot. I'm not sure if we can use variable inside that, but let's try it out. So it should be var dot allowed tags of index 0. Okay, and field in and instead of in we can use exists false. Okay, I'll just explain it quickly. Let me just add it over here. One more condition is false, and over here that was one condition. The second condition is over here, and it also has to go inside the curly braces. Okay, and instead of 0 it should be 1. Okay, so what we are doing, we are saying basically if any of these two conditions are true, what are those conditions? First is this one, which says var.allowed tags 0th element, which is the first tag department. If exists equal to false, that means if this condition becomes true or this condition becomes true, any of those, then effect is deny. So that's the policy rule. Okay, and that's basically another condition, so we can remove this one and we'll just replicate the other one. Okay, that's, oh, did I remove the bracket as well? Okay, so that's the first policy definition. Now let's just test this. So to test this, we need to do the assignment as well. So let's do a policy assignment. For policy assignment, we need the resource type as Azure RM subscription policy assignment. It should be subscription policy assignment, this one. Okay, so this is what we need. Azure RM policy assignment, let's keep it assignment example. Okay, so let's call it tag assignment. Okay, Azure policy definition example.id. So this is the policy definition, which policy has to be assigned to which subscription, because we are attaching the policy or we are assigning the policy to the subscription. So we have to provide the reference of both the IDs. Policy definition is subscription ID. Subscription ID will be coming from data source. Data source name is Azure RM subscription over here, like type, and name is current. So dot current and then dot ID. So this should be a data source ID. Let's see, like we might run into errors, but let's try it out. TF init. Now let's do a TF plan and hope it will work magically. Oh no, it did not. Okay, what does it say? Manage resource policy definition example has not been declared in the root module. Policy definition, because our policy definition name was different, which is tag. So let's use it over here. Now it should be good. Okay, it says policy contain an invalid character. Look for the beginning of object keys. So we have done something that we were not supposed to do. Maybe the JSON is not correct. Let's see. Let's compare it with what we have. It started with this and then there is ended after policy rule. Or did we end it? Yes, we did. And we have comma before then as well. So there is if any of, and that's your first bracket, it's getting closed over here. Then there's the second one, and I guess this is extra. So now we have a condition over here. This is the second, this is the first, and that's the if no, yeah, that's actually true. Yep. Let's try now. Okay, it's still throwing the error. Says policy invalid character, look for the beginning of object key string, but it's not showing me the line. Maybe line, okay, it's just showing the line 9, which is this one. Let me compare it. Okay, let me compare this from the other screen that I have. We have policy rule, then if any of or not, it was there not, and then closed. How do we use multiple values? Okay, like this. Oh, because I think I know what the issue is. Yeah, because we are using multiple values, right? So this, if over here, this is nothing but a map, right? And it has, sorry, not if, the any of is a map. Okay, it has these two values, right? So it has to go in the square brackets. I think that was the issue, but let's see. And it should be closed before then. Yeah, I think that was it. Nope. Okay, now it different error, so that's okay. It says colon is not expected over here, maybe. Oh, where is the bracket for this one? Okay, so it should be like this is the root, and then it has this one character, this one element, then there is this second element, then it is closed, then this closed, and then the root closed. I guess this should be. Sorry, I'm doing a lot of trial and error. It's hard to find the exact issue when it does not just give you the line in which the error is there. Okay. Invalid character double quotes after object key value pair. Come on. I verified the syntax and everything. Where did it come? Yeah, and looks like I'm missing or I've added the extra bracket. So let's just see one by one. So we have the policy rule starts over here and then it ends over here. Okay. Then we have if, inside if we have any of, and this is the first element, this is the second element. Here the any of get closed, and then we have then. And I think we have not closed this one over here. Yeah, I think that is it. So let's try. Okay. Yeah, actually that was the issue. Okay, so you see it says the policy will be created, policy assignment will be created. So let's apply this change first. Okay, I'm gonna pause the recording. Let's hope we don't get any issues. Okay, so the changes have been applied. Now let's try to create a resource and see if it works. Okay, so I'm not gonna make the changes in this file. Instead, I'll create another file. Let's call it rg.tf, and let's create a resource of type Azure RM resource group. Let's give it a name rg, and name should be like nothing should be like, give it whatever you want, and let's give the location as Canada Central. Okay, the policy that we have applied is tags, so that means it should have either of those tags. Now that we are not adding it, let's see what error does it throw. So if I run tf plan, I think there is some value through which we can just execute a single resource or a single file. Let's see the help options that we have. Okay, or it's there with the Terraform apply. Oh, here target equal to resource, or yeah, I guess. Okay, let's see. Terraform plan hyphen target is equal to resource group, invalid target. It should be, I think, Azure RM resource group. No, resource specification must include a resource type and name. Okay, .rg. Yeah, I think it'll work. Okay, so let's try to apply those changes instead of plan. Okay, yes. Okay, so you see it says policy violation, allowed tag. Here's the policy violation. Because of this policy definition, that means we are not allowed to make the change. Now let's add those tags over here. Let's add either of those tag. Okay, let's add tag department is equal to whatever IT. Okay, and let's try to apply the change again. Yes. Okay, still it is throwing the error because it says any of is true. Okay, let's try to understand this one more time. That means if the department, or did I use the name correctly? Yeah, department is right. So that means what do we mean by this statement being true? So if department does not exist, that's one thing, or project does not exist, right? So that means both the tags should be there. Okay, let's go back to RG and let's add another tag, which is project, and let's call it accelerator, something like whatever, and let's apply the change again. Auto approve. Okay, now it should not fail. See, now we have both the tags. Oh, it did fail. Why did it fail? Maybe it did not. Yeah, it did not updated the value from the definition, right? So variable main over here. Do we have to tags? Okay, let's try to use the string interpolation. Okay, if that doesn't work, then we have to go back to the documentation and see. Okay, it says invalid index because it's a set of string. So yeah, it should not have index. Then how do we refer it? Let's go back to one of the previous videos where we did the functions and everything. I believe it was, which video was it? Let's see. So it's video 11. Okay, let's go over here. Oh, do we have to use the lookup? Yeah, I think that's why it didn't work. No, lookup. This is for map. Sorry, I'm getting confused. Okay, let's see. Variables, and we see where we have used. This is map, not this one. Okay, let's check the video number 10. Not 10, I guess it was 12. 12 is not here, or what? Okay. A list of strings. So this is basically what we are doing, and now let's see how we are referring that. Azure locations, project name, storage or location, where dot locations. Okay, we are converting that into set. That's okay, we are still not referring it. Yeah. Okay, let me just check it out. Okay, so I have tried a lot. I have checked a lot of documentation, and looks like I'm not able to find the way to use variables like this over here. So if you find it out, so let me know in the comments. I'll update the code or maybe create a pull request against the repo and I'll approve it. So for now, like I've already spent too much of time in this, so I'm just gonna hard code these values. So department, and over here was, what was that, project. Okay, there's one more change that I did over here. Okay, and this was, I used this JSON and code function. So earlier, if you saw, like whatever we had over here, it was in the JSON format. But with this function, we don't have to write the JSON format. We can just use the SCL syntax. SCL is HashiCorp config language, the same that we have been using in all the TF files, right? So I have just replaced the colons with equal to sign and remove the double quotes. That's basically it, and I have used this function. Now that I have replaced the variables, let's see if it works. Still facing the issue. It says invalid value for string parameter, string required. Okay, finally it worked. It was a very stupid issue. I'll show you. So I just removed the single quotes from here, and then it was able to resolve it. Plus there was JSON decode over here instead of encode. So what actually we need to do, because this policy rule, it expects the configuration in JSON format, right? So with JSON encode, what we are doing, we are converting this HCL code into the JSON code. That's what it requires. Plus if we use single quotes, it was adding that like it was not considering it to be resolved, the interpolation. Anyways, so yeah, so I have made the changes, and now that you can see, we have resource group with the tags, and it was able to create the resource group, right? So if we go over here, let's see, where is my browser? Okay, so if we go over here to home and resource groups, test RG, see the resource group has been created. And if we go to policies, so we have the policy created, and there are resources that are non-compliant because those resources did not have those tags, right? That's why. So this is the policy, and let's see the policy definition from somewhere. From where do we see it? Okay, let's go to any compliance reason. Okay, so it says yeah, value must exist, which should be tax department, right? Either of those. So yeah, that was that. And the next one is now, okay, let's yeah, we have spent too much of time in that, so let's now create the rest of the two policies, location policy and which was allowed VM size. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna copy this policy definition, okay, oh, till here, and go over here. Now I'm gonna make the changes. It should be now let's call it VM size, okay, and VM size, okay, policy type is custom all, allowed VM policy. Now instead of, now we don't have to just check that VM size exists or not. We need to make sure that the VM size is either of the provided values. Okay, so for that we first need to provide the resource name, like which, or the resource field. So field is this one. I'm just gonna replace it over here. Okay, Microsoft dot compute virtual machine sku dot name. This is the field of your VM size, and we don't need any of now, and we don't need the second one as well. Okay, and let's see. So if okay, if field is this and value, now we don't need not exist or not exist, will it should not in. And now over here we'll use the similar syntax like we used for the value, but instead of allowed tags it should be VM size. Invalid character. Okay, because it has to go inside double quotes. I think var dot VM size. Okay, VM size. Let's just verify the variable name. VM size. No, sizes. Let's keep it something meaningful. VM sizes. That's one. Or you can use a for loop as well. We just have two values, so I'm just saving some time over here. Okay, what do you think? Would it work? Let's see. Okay, so VM size should be these. Maybe you can try it out yourself. I don't want to spend more time on this. And let's create another policy. But we need to create the policy assignment. So let's just copy this one and let's call it size assignment, and policy definition is, it should be VM size dot id. Okay, let's move on to the next one, which is what we have. The third one is location. So let's call it location. Location and allowed location policy. And now over here the field should be let me see. Yeah, the field should be location, and field location not in, it should be var dot allowed location or location. What was that? Yeah, it was just location, var dot location 0 and var dot location 1. Okay, now the resource we are creating over here, it's not one of those locations, so let's try to apply those changes. Okay, I have reused the name example for the other one, and I have not created the assignment as well. Yeah, so let's use this. I'm gonna create another policy assignment. Okay, and let's call it example 2, and it should be location assignment, not VM size id. It should be, what was the other one? Location dot id. Oops, subscription id. Yeah, I might have accidentally removed it. Okay, Let's try it out now. I'm just applying the resource group target, which would not do anything. So let me remove the target part so that it will apply all the changes. Okay, it's creating it. Okay, it has been created. All the policies have been created. Now let's go to Azure portal and see if yeah, if it is working fine. So let's go to policies. So we have three policies. One is tag assignment, which we have already seen. So now if you go over there, it does not have the resource group because resource group is now compliant. We have added the tags to it, right? But it should show as compliant resource now. Okay, then let's go to the second one, which is location assignment. Location assignment, you see we have added the location as East US and West US um, as the allowed location. So everything with East US is showing as compliant. Everything else, West Europe, Canada Central, is showing as non-compliant. Now for some reason it is not showing resource group over here as well. And the third one is size assignment, which is not started because I don't have any VM running at the moment, right? So now let's just check the location assignment and let's just check its definition. Let's open, okay, from here, compliance reason, view resource. Okay, let's see the compliance reason. No compliance data found. Okay. Okay, maybe because I was checking the compliant resources. If I check non-compliant, it says field location is West Europe, target values are either of those. So this is working fine. Now, do we have the resource group, test resource group? This is what we've created. And we created that in Canada Central, but somehow it is showing as compliant. Let's go to policy and let's go to compliance once again. There should be some logs to check. Okay, let's see the definition. And assignment. Okay, this is for all the assignments. So location assignment, deployed resources, no item found, view definition. Okay, so you see over here, if location not in east and west, then effect is deny, and it is for all the resources. Mode is all the resources at subscription level. Okay, still it is not considering resource group, maybe because it takes some time to run the compliance checks. It has not been executed yet, maybe. um let's see the documentation. That's really a good way to find out when do they do the compliance check. Oh, during the standard compliance evaluation cycle, which occurs every 24 hours. That's why resource group it's not part of it, because resource group was created like a couple of hours back. But if we want, we can create a new resource group in the same. Let's create a new. It will be a quick check. Let's create a new resource group. Give it a name RG1 resource group 1, and let's try to create that in Canada Central. Okay. So let's apply the changes. Okay, policy violation. It's not allowed. The target value is East US or West US, and it's denied. Yeah, this is what we wanted to test. So that's all about this video. I hope you have learned how do we create Azure policies for compliance, how do we check the compliance, the evaluation period, the format of policy, JSON and code function, and like a few other things. And make sure you complete the task given in the GitHub repository. Try it out yourself, and then only you'll be able to understand it properly. You'll make some mistakes, and that's when you learn. Like, that's what I'm doing basically. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon with another mini project or maybe large project in the next video. And till then, take care, happy learning, have a good day. Bye bye.